Welcome to another edition of the Good Outdoors on 99.5 Kicks Country with Steve, Darrell, and Ronnie. It's everything about the outdoors. Take it away, guys.
Good morning. Welcome to the Good Outdoors Thursday edition, May 30th of the Good Outdoors Radio Show. How you doing, Steve?
Doing good. Cranking it with Kid Rock this morning.
That's right. Darrell, what's up, brother?
What up?
And Ronnie's out today. Angie woke up sick this morning, so he's still taking care of her from her recent battles. So we'll keep them in mind, and we want to thank everybody for tuning in this morning. It's 4 a.m. We're ready to get this party started.
Yeah, it's balmy and warm out there.
Yeah, I got here, and Darrell Sample said, "What's going on with the weather?" And I was like, "What?" You know, I woke up when I got out of the truck, and I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, the clouds are going crazy." I looked up, and I said, "Good grief, they are, man! I don't know what's going on out there."
I don't know if there's some rain coming or rain in the forecast. We'll have to look later on and see. But
last I heard, there wasn't.
Yeah, I kind of caught me off guard too. But it was hot all around last night. I stayed at Mom's last night with Billy working and kids out of school. I stayed there so I could leave them with her this morning. And man, I like to have burned up last night in that house. It was miserable, and then I couldn't figure out why. And then I think it was just the room I was in. Matter of fact, your old room. And but I come out and it was cool, but then I come back outside and it was warm. Just very strange, very strange.
Yeah, it's gonna get hot today, up to 95 it says, but yeah, it's in the 70s out there now, so it is kind of balmy, but not a lot of chance of rain. We'll cover later on. I don't know.
Nothing.
You know, the UV. I always thought the UV scale was a 1 to 10. Today it's an 11. So that tells you anything about how hot and sunshiny it's gonna be today.
Wow.
Man, there's a lot of news going on, a lot of outdoor activity. I was found all over the internet this morning when I got here. And one of them was a woolly mammoth has been found, frozen fossil. Of course, he's not alive, but found in Siberia, and it still had blood in it. Yeah. It's 10,000-year-old remains of a female mammoth have recently been uncovered in Siberia.
They'll be able to study that blood and learn a lot about the old woolly mammoth.
Well, not just that. They say they might be able to clone it. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I don't know about that cloning stuff, dude. That's messing with some stuff that you can get into a lot of moral things. I mean, all I got to say is this about cloning. Can you imagine two of me? Can
Hell no.
Well, there you go.
Let's ban that.
There you go. Good or bad, they don't need to be two Steves.
It says in this article, in fact, it appears that despite the fact that it got to spend several thousand years trapped inside ice cavities under the mammoth's body, the blood was still liquid. I don't understand how that happened.
Wow.
Frozen, but it don't matter. But
I guess it thawed out.
How do they know it was liquid?
I don't know. It says there. I tell you what, when the researchers who made the stunning find picked up a pole pick and used it to break these cavities open, the blood reportedly came gushing out. So there you go, Darrell. Since local temperatures are well below 10 degrees. 10 degrees Celsius, that's 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Russian scientists believe that the mammoth's blood must have had some kind of protective properties, crow protective properties. That's pretty funny. They're talking seriously about maybe cloning this thing. Wonder whether or not scientists could use biological samples taken from this female mammoth to clone it and resurrect the species. What do you think about that?
I don't know. I was just there thinking. I think it'd be cool, when you look at dinosaurs that were extinct and they've been gone and we've never had the privilege to see them or anything like that. Talk to them, interview them, see how their life went.
But that's kind of messing around the wrong.
It really is. Now it's kind of borderline. I don't know that. I know this much. I don't want my taxpayer dollars going towards that research. If somebody was to privately do it. Now they've cloned, sheep and stuff already.
Dolly, I think, was the first one.
Yeah,
she finally died last year, I believe.
I don't know, but I don't know, man. That's a tough one. The research you can get by cloning, I guess, from a health standpoint, maybe it's beneficial, but it sure is you start cloning people, man, that's a weird thing. And
all I think about is Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
And that never turned out good.
No, that never did. That didn't turn out good at all. So. We got a call coming in early this morning. Go ahead and take it. Good morning, caller. You're on the Good Outdoors Radio Show. How are you?
Good morning. This year's old. That's C4 son.
C4 son?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good deal. I'm glad you called because we've been trying to get more information about C4. What can you shed some light on some of him there?
Yeah, they gonna put him down today.
Yeah. And where's he going to be buried at?
That's mortuary in Johnson City, Tennessee. But
Johnson City?
Johnson City, Tennessee?
Yes.
Good deal. Where did he live? We tried to go over there. I thought he said he lived at Valdosta Apartments here in Valdosta. I tried to go over there yesterday just to try to find some information out on him, and I couldn't find anybody there at the place I thought he was at that could help us out. Where did he live at?
He did live down at Dallas Apartment. He just didn't let his name go out because he was kind of shy of himself. Said everybody thought he was an old man and everything. Said that they said he just hold him away from everybody.
Yeah, just a private person there, I guess, huh?
Yes, sir. He left Tennessee about 35 years ago.
Yeah. Now, do you live here in Valdosta?
And no, sir, I flew in last night. I'm over at his apartment now.
Oh, okay. Good deal. Good deal. Yeah, well, he was a big part of us there. We really appreciated him, and we want to make sure we send some flowers and stuff like that. Where exactly will we send the flowers to up there in Tennessee?
Well, if you could bring them over here at the house, I could take them up over here at the apartment. I'll take them up there when I go back.
Sure.
Okay, yeah.
Tell me exactly where you at, and we'll get them over there first thing this morning.
Yes, sir.
I'm right down here at number 1 Valdosta Road.
Valdosta what?
Valdosta Apartment Room 1.
Okay. And that's on South Patterson Street there?
Yes, sir.
And room number 1. Okay. We'll sure get by there first thing this morning. And are you going to be, as a matter of fact, right after the show, if you don't mind, I'll come by there.
Yeah, I'm going to be here about 2 weeks getting all this stuff settled up. And he kept talking about Ron.
About Ronnie?
Yeah.
Huh.
He gave me little souvenirs that I'd like to give him if I'd ever get to see it.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. What did he pass away there at the apartment, or was he in the hospital?
And he was in. They sent him back about the soldier home in Tennessee.
Oh, okay. I got you. Okay, good deal. Well, we'll catch up with you after the show. Darrell will be headed back that way. He'll come in there and talk to you.
He got a little old thing hanging on the wall here. When we went to Israel, I'd like to give you.
Okay.
A little Bible thing. He's tight. He'd give his shirt off his back to help anybody. His 2 stepdaughters will be down here. Supposed to be down here late this evening.
Okay. Good deal. Well, we'll come by and check you out there. We're going to get on to another call here, but we'll come see you here in just a little while, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right,
yes, sir.
Good deal. Well, hopefully we can find out more about it. I'm interested in finding out more about the life of C4 and see, what all he did in his long life.
Like to honor his life a little bit better than more than what we know about him now. So
yeah, no doubt about it.
We'll get by there and see him. I was also looking here this morning, some crazy stuff going on. Believe it or not, washing a car with university water is an NCAA violation.
Yes, sir.
Did you see that?
Cost $20. And
that is crazy. A college basketball player got charged with it.
Yes, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely ridiculous.
And then Disney World patron finds gun on a ride. Carrying a gun to Disney World shouldn't be illegal, but Disney World does not allow them. The guy that carried it in there did not know that Disney World didn't allow them.
How did he get it through the checkpoint?
Well, have you ever been frisked when you went to Disney World?
I've never been frisked, I don't guess.
You don't walk through a metal detector either.
No, I don't guess.
He has a concealed weapons permit. So he carried it right on in there, and it slipped from his grasp while on a ride, and the next kid that got on the ride found it, and they, turned it into their parents, and parents turned it into the park officials and authorities, and now he's probably going to get in a little trouble about that.
The thing is, though, how they find out was his gun.
Well, it's registered to him. It's a concealed weapons permit.
Yeah, all they do is run the serial number.
Exactly.
That's what
all arguments have been about.
The whole beef, yeah.
The
whole point. That's what I've always said. If you don't think your gun ain't registered, that's that cat,
That's right. The Disney World prohibits patrons from bringing any type of weapon onto its properties. And I understand why Disney World does that. I do. not that I support it. Not that I support any of them, but,
Well, if you're going to allow it, you got to have metal detectors in to keep the bad out, I guess. So, I don't know. That's I know one thing, that if I was in a crowd there at Disney World and the something bad went down, I'd like to be standing next to the guy that had the gun,
I sure would.
So,
I sure would.
But it's fraught with peril when you start allowing the guns to come on there, because then you're going to have to put, like you said, put the metal detectors in there and make sure, when someone comes in with a gun that they have a permit to carry it, and then keep the ones that don't out. So
yeah, open a big old can of worms there. Big old can of worms.
Yeah.
And, that's right in the midst. I don't know, this has nothing to do with it really, but, we touched on Colorado yesterday, and the gun rights group offers pistol ammo to Colorado recall voters. They're trying to gather up enough signatures to put it on the ballots. The gun rights activists in Colorado are taking an innovative approach in their quest to take down Colorado Senate President John Morse, a Democrat. And they needed 7,178 valid signatures to get the recall on the ballot. And according to the Gazette, they have more than enough. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be on the ballot to recall this guy and get him out of office.
Good. I hope they do.
I hope they do too. I really do. That's going to be a good thing.
Well, it's funny to me how when something really gets serious, there's a lot of things out there that's serious, but there's certain issues that strike a nerve and it'll cause people to rise up like that, whereas they don't on some issues. They don't get as serious. They'll sit there and fuss about it, but when something really strikes a person and moves them, then they'll go to the extreme and do things like that. I wish we would do it more often, but I hope they're successful, because that'll set a precedent for doing things, later on down the line. But we're going to run off, take a break. Our first break here. We'll be right back on the Good Outdoorz Radio Show.
Here we go again. Every time there's a food plot to be planted, Darrell's nowhere to be found. You see him, Ronnie?
He's probably in the truck eating a dang sandwich.
I'm sitting right here by this tree and they don't even see me.
Man, that real tree AP was designed to blend hunters with their surroundings, not hide them when it's time to work.
I'm so hidden the scooters can't even find me.
Okay, Darrell, come on. We got to get this stuff planted.
What's that? Hey, stop it.
Real tree. It's so real, a coyote might pee on it.
Serves you right, you slacker.
The grill might be in storage, but that's what campfires are for. And the backyard party is on hiatus, but that's because everyone is tailgating. Only the seasons change, tastes don't, and when you've got Bud Light Lime, you don't need summer to have a good time. It's the superior drinkability of Bud Light with a splash of 100% natural lime flavor. Look for a Bud Light Lime and find your summer state of mind anytime. It's in the lime. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Lime flavored beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
What in the world is that noise?
Sounds like the transmission's about to come out of my truck.
Transmission? Sounds like Alien versus Predator under there. Let's get it to Ronnie at Eagle Auto Repair.
Ronnie, I got a problem.
Problem? It sounded like Superman fighting the Incredible Hulk.
No, it was worse than that.
Come on, man. This is for real. I ain't got the money to be fixing no big problem.
Chill out, dude. You're at Eagle Auto Repair. We'll fix it right and as inexpensive as we can. We only use quality parts, and my guys are some of the best trained technicians in town.
Yeah, but can they stop a fight between Godzilla and King Kong? Because I'm betting that's what they're going to find under there.
Eagle Auto Repair.
321 Lakes Boulevard, Lake Park, Georgia.
Jones Welding and Industrial Supply has been serving South Georgia and North Florida for over 3 decades. With 9 locations in the South, Jones Welding and Industrial Supply is a full-line distributor for all welding and industrial supplies. The Jones mission is to provide quality products at a competitive price in order to supply the best service available. Jones Welding and Industrial Supply has built a reputation for good, honest, old-fashioned service. For a location near you, visit www.joneswelding.com. Jones Welding and Industrial Supply is a proud supporter of the Good Outdoors. It's that time of year. People everywhere will be scrambling to find somebody to take care of filing their taxes. Fast Tax and Bookkeeping at 1407 West Hill Avenue, Suite Q has a quick turnaround time and the knowledge to prepare your taxes properly, making sure you are getting what's due. With $25 1040 EZ filings, electronic refunds in a flash, military and college student discounts, and fast and friendly service, drop by and see Lisa Griffiths and the gang at 1407 West Hill Avenue, Suite Q, or give them a call at 229-253-0181 to schedule an appointment. appointment.
So you need a car, truck, or SUV? Look no further than Midway Auto Emporium at 4189 Bemis Road, Valdosta, Georgia. Cameron and Melissa Tucker has been serving the Valdosta area for over 7 years now. They are a family-owned and operated local business with hometown values and still believe in handshake deals. With a great selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs, with a Carfax report on every one of them, along with bank financing at all credit levels and interest rates as low as 1.85% with approved credit. 4189 Bemis Road, or visit their website at midwayautoemporium.com.
You're listening to The Good Outdoors with Steve, Darrell, and Ronnie on 99.5 Kicks Country. Now, let's get back to the fun.
Welcome back to The Good Outdoors here on 99.5 Kicks Country. And Darrell had to take a quick break there, so I'm flying solo. But
Real quick,
yeah. A sudden break would be more accurate, huh?
yeah.
Hey, we got a new record rainbow trout that's been caught, a state record rainbow trout in West Virginia, caught in Berkeley County, and it shows a picture of him. It is a big dude. It's weighed 17.31 pounds, and it was 30.5 inches long. But now it was caught from a private pond in Berkeley County. So, I don't know about that. I think when I think of a rainbow trout, I'm thinking about fishing it in a nice mountain stream somewhere, and I just don't think they're going to get that big in a stream. I think it's a little bit.
Where are they native to? That's the question to me.
I think they got to be. If you think about it, they pretty much probably have to be native to a stream, or that's an interesting question when you ask that. How? I think all fish probably somehow had to come from the river or stream somewhere. They didn't just all of a sudden appear in a pond.
Right.
How did they get into the pond? That's a good question to ponder there. I know that some fish eggs and all attached to pond birds' legs, and when they go from one place to other, they can deposit those eggs into a pond, and they populate that place.
But there's also places where they stock them in ponds up there for
no doubt.
For
that's
cabin
my point.
rentals
Yeah.
and things.
Yeah, that's my point. I don't know if it would be as gratifying. Don't get me wrong, a record's a record, I guess. But I would rather catch the fish in a stream or a pond or river than I would a stocked pond like that. But no matter how you look at it, I guess even a largemouth bass. If you go up to Ken's Fish Hatchery there and you buy some bass, put in your pond, then one day you catch a world record bass.
Yep.
Guess what? You got a world record bass. No matter how it happened, but
look where the world record bass was caught from a river.
Yeah, an oxbow off the Altamaha River called, what was it called?
I can't remember.
It was there in Lumber City. I can't remember. Montgomery Lake.
Yeah, Montgomery Lake, that's right.
But, that's, I don't know, just when I think of a trout, I guess, I think more of a river, but,
that's exactly what I think about.
The only ones I've ever caught was up there fishing like that with a little piece of, what do you call it, Jolly Green Giant corn, stuck on the end of a hook. But
that's right.
Hey, fishing's fishing, man, and it's all good.
It's all good, man.
The Good Outdoors, man. There's zebra mussels. This is not something that's a problem down here, but zebra mussels
Zebras have some big mussels.
They do, yeah. Zebra mussels are it's like a little clam or like a mussel you find, a freshwater mussel you see around here in the river. But zebra mussels are devastating some of the Great Lakes regions up there. And I remember going fishing up in Lake Michigan there with Derek Parker he was in a smallmouth bass tournament, and I tagged along and watched that and filmed some of it. And the water was crystal clear. I mean, you could see 30 feet straight down to the bottom, and it was due to the zebra mussels invading in there and eating all the I guess you'd call it plankton and all that.
Yeah,
but it's not a good thing. They're trying to figure out how to stop it. And but anyway, the Minnesota DNR conservation officers are now using dogs to detect zebra mussels, and it's the latest tool in the fight against them. And they're going to be doing a lot out there this summer to take the canine units out there to try to locate these big beds and populations of the zebra mussels and see if they can't figure out a way to to get rid of it. But it's an aquatic invasive species is what it's called, kind of like the carp that are they're worried about getting in there too. When the carp and the zebra mussels team up, in a body of water, it's not going to take long before it decimates the fish in there.
Yep.
Because it eats up all the the stuff that holds bait and the
plankton are very, very important to the ecosystem You know,
Yep.
I mean, very important. I watched something on this over the weekend, and you got to have plankton. It supports so much life in the oceans and in the rivers and places. So, you got to have it.
Yeah, they get in clusters. You know, like it's hard to explain, but big clusters, and they get together. I don't really know how they eat it though, unless it's just like a filtering system, because I don't think the mussels can really move. You know, but they're about the size of a fingernail, and their larvae that they reproduce are microscopic, and that makes them tough to find. But they've been discovered in various lakes across, you know, the state of Michigan, and they're trying to get a grip on them, get a handle on them. So it's pretty interesting that they're using dogs like that.
That's that is interesting. It just goes to show you know how smart a dog can be. He can be trained to find so many things. You know, they're using them to find explosives now. They're using them to find so many different things. And,
well, we read here a while back where they're used in airports to find illegal shipments of wildlife.
They
You know,
sure
people
are.
bringing in, you know, pythons and different types of birds illegally. They use them to find them. One quick thing I came across is they've lifted the ban over on Jekyll Island. There was a stretch of beach there that they had banned swimming because of a high concentration of a certain bacteria in the water that causes some gastrointestinal problems if you get in there. But that ban has been lifted. So
must have been over there yesterday.
Yeah, you must have been.
Problems this morning.
Yeah, you must have been. I got you there. But you know, living over there, we dealt with stuff like that all the time. People don't realize how nasty the water is over there, and the reason is if you look at a map and you see how the coast indents in there into St. Simons and the Georgia coast. When you look at the Gulf Stream, or I don't know if you call it the Gulf Stream, but the Atlantic waterway there, that the current and all, it's like it creates like a pool, like a big eddy, and all the stuff, all the junk, you know, settles there, for lack of a better word, off the coast of St. Simons and Brunswick and Savannah and kind of up to Fernandina. And that's why you don't get much wave action there and all, and your waves don't start picking back up until you get down past Fernandina. But it just accumulates in there, and it causes a lot of, you know, when the water temperature rises, it causes a lot of bacteria and things like that. So they're constantly monitoring the water over there for safety. And you could go to the beach one weekend, there'd be an advisory out, and then the next week it, you know, be a green, you know, so you can go. But it has been lifted right now, so if you thinking about taking a trip, you know, you can head over to Jekyll Island this weekend. You'll be safe.
Yes, sir. Jekyll Island.
Putting a lot of money in that island.
They sure are. A lot of it. Yeah. You know, there's been a bear euthanized after chasing a dog in Connecticut. So all the bears out there listening this morning, I know you're listening because the turkeys listen. Don't chase a dog in Connecticut, because if you do, you're going to get euthanized.
That upsets the dog, causes all kind of mental problems.
That's right.
Even if the dog's out there nipping at you and trying to bite you because you come in its yard, don't chase the dog. Anyway, a black bear, about 200-pound black bear, came into a yard with two cubs, and I'm sure the dog, you know, probably didn't like it, and chased the dog into the house because it was just protecting its cubs. But they had to euthanize the bear, and then they tranquilized the two cubs and released them into a wooded area. So sad to hear that, but you know, it's going to happen more and more. Bears are just like other animals. If they start finding food outside the house, they're going to sneak closer and closer to houses and civilization.
Yep.
It's going to happen. We're encroaching on their land way too much, and it's going to happen, but you just got to learn how to live with them.
Got to get along. We all got to get along here on God's green earth.
Yes, sir.
Hey, if you've been wanting to go saltwater fishing down in Florida, but you've been hesitant because of the out-of-state license fee, Florida will be celebrating a no license requirement day, June the 1st. So,
wow. If
you want to go down there and fish, June the 1st, license free. Ain't got to have it in the saltwater. If it's freshwater Florida fishing that's your thing, June the 8th, there will be a no license day, June the 8th for freshwater fishing.
I like that because it's on Saturdays.
Yep.
You know, each one of them is on Saturdays. It gives optimum time for people to be out there. So that's good, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. So free freshwater fishing or saltwater fishing days this Saturday?
June 1st, and then
this Saturday.
That's the saltwater one, and then the freshwater one is June the 8th, the following Saturday. And they're putting on a big campaign. The just the press release here. To help celebrate, the FWC staff will be at several boat ramps and docks talking with the public about saltwater fishing. Staff will also be greeting visitors at the welcome centers on Interstate 95 and I-75 and talking about fishing. So anyway, we encourage you to go down there and check that out and get into fishing. Great outdoor activities. Y'all know who listen to the show, we talk about it all the time. So.
We sure do. And, it's great weekends to get out there and get involved with it. I wish I could. And I'm actually going to be busy probably this weekend. I know I'm busy next weekend. So I wish I could take advantage of it because there's some fishing I'd like to do right down there in Occidental on freshwater,
I'd love to go back down there.
Oh, man, I would too.
I've thought about that and thought about it. I want to go bass fishing somewhere. I just hadn't made myself go for some reason, and that's a shame, man.
Well, we get so busy, and it's called life. We get so busy, but we need to stop sometimes. You have to stop and take advantage of, life's simple pleasures, and fishing is one of them. That's, it's like deer hunting to me. You can go out on the water, get out there. I love to get out there at daylight on the water, start fishing some top water for some bass, and it's just quiet, very little wind. The water's calm, and it's just watching the world wake up again. It's just nothing like it. Nothing like it.
Yep. It's
loving it.
I discovered there in the neighborhood we moved into, there's a pond, and it's the guy, my next door neighbor, told me about it, and we kids and I walked down there a couple of days ago, and it's a big old pond, and the brim were bedding because we could smell them, and you could see the beds down there.
Mm-hmm.
And I just found it odd that there was not a soul fishing out there in that whole neighborhood. I mean, there's a lot of houses, and there was nobody fishing.
Really?
Yeah, and then I could look down there and see the brim on the bed. They didn't look like they were very big, and it may not be stocked. It may be just some it's basically a retention pond, but it's nice. It's a big pond, and I've been gearing up to try to go find me some beetle spins and and maybe get over and see our friend Dave at Fisherman's Paradise and come across some beetle spins. And
I guarantee he's got them loaded up with them.
No doubt about it. But we're going to take another break here. You listen to the Good Outdoorz Radio Show on 99.5 Kicks Country.
There's only one place in Valdosta if you want the freshest seafood in town. It's Bubba Jack's Crab Shack at 1700 West Hill Avenue. They got wild Georgia shrimp cooked about any way you could want it. Fried, peel and eat, grilled, or buffalo style. They got a Wednesday night oyster special at $7.99 a dozen, and that ain't no mistake. $7.99 a dozen, Wednesday night only. Bring the kids with you, and if they don't eat seafood, get them some chicken tender baskets or hamburger hot dog. And do not forget to try the fresh cut, hand-dipped onion rings at Bubba Jack's Crab Shack, 1700 West Hill Avenue, Valdosta. Val Optics on Patterson Street in Valdosta, Georgia has been providing 1-hour service for 25 years. From eyeglass repair to eye exams conducted by one of 2 on-site optometrists, Val Optics is there for all of your eyesight concerns. There is no need for an appointment, and most insurances are accepted. Val Optics also accepts outside prescriptions. So if you need eyeglass repair or an eye exam, stop by Val Optics at 601 North Patterson Street, Valdosta, Georgia. 25 years in business says it all. Service. It's a very simple word, but you'd think it's French. At Deep South Sanitation, our service will never be questioned. We are there when we say we'll be there. If there's a couple extra bags by the can, we pick it up. Deep South Sanitation don't care if the lid won't close. All the more reason to dump it. If you're elderly or disabled, the Deep South Sanitation team will get your can, dump it, and put it back. If trash blew out, we don't leave it, we pick it up. Keep the money you pay for sanitation services local by supporting Deep South Sanitation, a locally owned business. Call Carrie Scarborough today at Deep South Sanitation, 229-559-0200.
Hey, this is Judd with T3 Outdoors. Did you know that T3 Outdoors buys, sells, trades, and consigns used guns? We need your used guns. T3 Outdoors has a huge selection of turkey gear, from mouth calls, box calls, decoys, and ammo. T3 also has $8.99 sweet fee. We also have new spring Under Armour, Guy Harvey, and AFCO shorts. T3 also carries knives, Yeti coolers, boots, Costa sunglasses, and more. T3 Outdoors is locally owned and operated on Perimeter Road next to Zacadoo's.
It's your chance to win a $1,000 gift card to Austin's Cattle Company. Make up your own jingle, rhyme, or song because it's Austin's Idol.
Okay, off you go.
Pluck a duck or a slew of guineas. Austin's Cattle Company is better than any. Steaks, baked potato, seafood. Let's run down to Austin's Cattle Company. We'll have a juicy steak one for you and me. Down at Austin's Cattle Company, we'll have a juicy steak, one for you and me.
Think you can do better? Send in your CDs, MP3s, or video files to sales@austinscattlecompany.com or drop them off at Ed 616 off I-75. Because it's an addiction you never have to quit.
It's the Good Outdoors on 99.5 Kicks Country. Now, let's get back to the fun, talking about everything to do with the outdoors with Steve, Darrell, and Ronnie.
Welcome back this morning to the Good Outdoorz Radio Show. Give us a call, Ryan. We having some phone difficulties. I think we got it worked out now. You tried to call, so call us back. Here he goes. Good music there.
Might be him.
Wrong one.
Wrong button.
Good morning. Welcome to the Good Outdoors.
What's going on?
What's happening, man?
What's happening?
Not much. Headed to the house. Got one more day of work, and I'm going back to Spring Warrior.
Yeah, I was watching. I saw something last night. I guess it was probably on the internet or Facebook or something. Maybe they hammering them down there right now, ain't they?
Yeah. Just don't stay close in with all the other weekend warriors. Just go out, get away from everybody. You'll do pretty good.
You get bigger fish too, probably, huh?
Yeah, we caught some nice ones the other day. Hopefully, we'll get to do it again.
Yeah, it's good fishing down there right now. I can't remember. I'm trying to remember where I saw that. I don't think it was on Facebook, but maybe it was on some sort of fishing report. But it was. They were basically saying that if you went down there and threw a bait in the water, you were going to catch something because it's on right now.
Well, you're catching a lot of trash too. Like ladyfish. I mean, there's not very many casts down there right now, period. You don't catch something.
Yeah. That's the
sharks, catfish.
That's the good thing about going down there. You're going to probably, even on a bad day, you're probably going to catch something.
Oh, I've been down there and I caught but one or two fish before, man. I'm telling you, it'll be just as good today and just as bad tomorrow.
That's fishing.
Oh yeah.
It ain't called catching. It's called fishing.
And then scalloping's fixing to start, so that's gonna really hurt it.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of people out there. That's a pretty short season, though, ain't it?
What is it, till August?
Well, maybe it's longer than I thought. Then I know a lot of people that go down there just for that. That's that does sound like fun. I've never done it, but it does sound like fun getting down there and scalloping like that. But I don't particularly care for scallops, so it's kind of hard to motivate myself to go down there and do it.
Man, I love them.
Now shrimp. I'll go pull whenever you want to go over to Jekyll Island, and if you can come up with a seine, I am in, brother, because I love doing that. That is, and I actually, if I ain't forgot, I've got a pretty good bit of knowledge. My ex-father-in-law taught me. We would go over there and certain times on full moons and different tides, and we would pull a seine, and no joke, pull it one time, and then we almost filled up a 48-quart cooler. We thought we had got something in the net that was making it so heavy, and I was working the deep end. And back then I didn't weigh but about 180 pounds, 175 pounds maybe. And I was trying to pull that thing, and it was about to whoop me. But I got it up there, and I'm telling you, son, I'll never forget it. We pulled it up there, and it was just, man, we were in hog heaven with shrimp, dude. It was unbelievable.
I bet it was pretty big ones too, wasn't it?
They were good sized ones. Now, like you talking about over there, though, I've been over there and seined and caught a bunch of small ones. Then I've been over there and everything you catch is big. Then I've been over there and you pull the seine 15 times during the night and come up with 6 shrimp. Yep. It's still fishing, but man, back in the day, you could go over there and hammer them things, and that's a 48-quart cooler full of shrimp. That's worth a lot of money. That's worth a lot of money, But of course, we didn't sell them; we ate them.
Oh yeah.
But I'm in on that.
You red this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
They've been kind of slipping this year on the reds.
Yeah. I've been wanting to get down there and try to fish for reds and stuff like that with a kayak and an artificial bait, like on a bait caster.
Yeah,
I've been getting the itch to try that. My brother-in-law lives in Orlando, and he goes out to the other side of Florida over there on the east side, and he fishes and he does that a lot. Catches them He said you hook into
Ooh,
a
I
good
bet it'd be
20,
fun.
25 pounder, and it thing will pull that kayak all over the place.
Oh yeah. I talked to one of my buddies that guides down there, and he told me the magic bait, because every time they go, they've been killing them. One of the few people I talked to that's actually caught some reds this year.
Huh.
The trout, man, I got the trout covered. The stupid red this year, I'm telling you, it's been a struggle.
You using that gulp bait for the trout?
Yeah, I mean, them gulps, man, it's hard to beat them. But I tell you, I went through a couple buckets of the gulp down there last Saturday.
Yeah.
And I went back to the old stuff, and I done just as dang good.
Huh.
You can't hardly even buy that. They used to make these electric chicken, and you can buy them by 100 in a bag.
Right.
And I still have some that's left over. I saved. I put them in a Ziploc. Like I said, save them for a rainy day when you run out of bait.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, we caught them on them too. So I guess with the gulp, you're catching something every cast versus every other cast with the other.
But you're still catching, and when you're out of bait, that's a good thing to have in your bait box.
Yeah. Well, we ran out of just about everything we had in the boat the other day, and we actually started cutting up some ladyfish.
Yeah.
And those, I mean, when you're catching fish there, they'll hit just about anything you throw.
When they biting, they biting.
Oh yeah.
When we went down to Crystal River a few weeks ago, we fished about, I think, 4 or 5 hours, and there was actually 12 different species of fish that they boated that day.
That's what's awesome about the flats.
Yep.
That's my favorite thing.
And he was naming off, they were pulling in fish I'd never seen before, naming them off, and the guy there, of course, he knew every one of them because that's what he does for a living. And he just started naming them off, It
takes a lot of skill to a lot of knowledge to know what you're catching out there in the ocean.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Any cobia caught?
Yeah. Not on our boats. I take that back. We caught one that was an inch short. Had to throw him back.
32.
Yeah, but one of the boats there that Cole and those Colton James, Cole Taylor, and all them were on, they hammered the cobia. They caught some big ones and several of them. So, but they were out a little further than we were.
Well, the stupid groupers are. The juvenile groupers, they're running in the flats too. You can just about get out there in about 12 foot of water and get one of them about every other cast. You will look up and catch one, legal too, when you get out in that little deeper water. But I'll tell you, them rock bass, they're hard to beat on eating.
Oh yeah, they're good.
That's what I hear. I've never had.
I've always given them away up until about 2 or 3 months ago, and I actually tried one. And I could have kicked my butt for giving them away.
You've missed out on a lot of good eating, haven't you?
I have, because I'd rather eat them than the trout now.
Yeah, no wonder you got so many friends now. You've been giving away the good stuff.
Yes.
Well, give us a full report next time you go. Let us know what happened.
Oh, yeah, I will.
No, man, appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Ryan, he's living a good life, man. He gets to go fishing a lot. He's got his priorities in order.
I tell you what, you can't take nothing away from Ryan Hughes. He will get outdoors in a heartbeat.
Yep, he takes his kids, and he's a great ambassador. We appreciate him. Appreciate him listening to the show. I found an interesting thing talking about Florida and all. And it's an interesting article on bag limits and things like that. But we got a call coming in. We'll go ahead and take it. Good morning, caller. You're on the Good Outdoorz Radio. How are you?
I'm fine. How are y'all?
We doing good.
So the shrimping net is called a seine. That's what it's called?
It's called a seine. Yeah, I believe a correct spelling, and then I wouldn't bet my life on it, but I think it's SEINE maybe or something like that. Or
99 foot or less.
Yeah.
I hate that thing.
Why?
Because my baby brother Shane, he was like, come on, Wonder Girl, let's go shrimping. I said, I don't know how. He said, I'm going to teach you. Come on. We went over to Jekyll Island. Man, it was so many people out there. He had a brand new net. He said, I'm going to put you on the shallow end. I said, okay. Man, we walked so far pulling that net, and it was heavy. And
oh, yeah.
He was like, you got to keep it down on sand, Wonder. Didn't catch nothing but crab and shark. We caught like 2 baby sharks.
Yeah, you were probably letting it come off the bottom, letting all the shrimp go under the net.
No, it was a brand new net, and the holes were too big. I was so mad because everybody was catching a whole bunch of shrimp. We didn't catch nothing.
Yeah, that stinks there. But yeah, it can get crowded over there at the right time of year. You got to get in line, but when the shrimp are coming in and everybody's catching them, it's a lot of fun.
I know you got to have upper body strength because that's hard.
Yeah, it ain't easy when you get that deep end. The shallow end ain't too bad, but that pulling it, when you're in chest deep water and it's dark and you're worried about sharks, and then a dolphin or a porpoise comes up behind you and blows and scares you to death, it ain't for the common man, that's for sure.
Yeah, I never knew that it was called a seine though. So thanks, I learned something new.
It sure is.
It's called a seine. That's correct.
All right, y'all have a good day.
All right, thanks for calling.
Bye.
Yeah, we used to use seines to do that, and another thing too, when the small ponds around here got low, and they used to worry about the fish dying, you take the seine and get the fish out and relocate them, or keep you some to eat or whatever. But seine has been around a long time. But I was coming across this article here talking about different fish and all that, and it's an interesting one on bag limits and different terminology down in Florida. But I'll just read some of the article. Fishing can sometimes be famine, but on the days when it's feast, it's important to know your bag limit. So if you're just catching them every time you throw it in there, you got to know how many you can keep, and the limits are set to protect the species, and there are several types of bag limits, and sometimes more than one type applies. Some even vary by region, like spotted sea trout, red drum, weakfish, bay scallops, from region to region, there are different bag limits. And a bag limit is defined as the number of a particular species that an individual angler can harvest and possess in a given day. For example, the recreational bag limit for red drum in the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission's northeast and northwest management zones is 2 fish per person per day. This means that a licensed angler can harvest 2 red drum in a given day. This does not mean that you have to stop fishing after you have put 2 fish in the box. You can keep fishing and enjoy catch and release, take fishing for the rest of the day. Now that stinks, but you can only keep 2. And we'll get back. We'll take a break here. We'll get back to some. It's a pretty interesting article here. But you listen to the Good Outdoors on 99.5.
With over 40,000 machines in the field, the pro's choice is Dixie Chopper. Be a pro. Buy a chopper. Built right here in America with one simple goal. Build a mower that cuts more grass and doesn't break when you use it. Be a pro. Buy a chopper. With Chopper's price, performance, and reliability guarantee, make the smart choice. Be a pro. Buy a chopper.
We're running out of time. We're drawing the line. This is our battle cry.
Huntin' is Good TV is an action-packed hunting show with a mission to secure our hunting heritage. Join Steve Nichols, Trey Weatherington, and Neil Armati each week as they hunt across the U.S. and Canada with pro athletes, actors, wounded warriors, kids, and regular old Joes who know hunting is good. Huntin' is Good TV airs on Pursuit Channel and is available on Dish Network Channel 240 and DirecTV Channel 604. For more info, visit huntingisgoodtv.com and follow on Facebook at facebook.com/HIG TV show. You can also use your high-speed internet connection to watch online by logging on to filmon.com at the airtimes posted on our website. And remember, hunting is good.
This is our battle cry.
Justamere Farm is a full boarding, training, and lesson facility conveniently located on Valdale Road in Hayhire. Justamere Farm offers a facility like no other in the area with many amenities to meet all your equine needs, whether it's riding, training, or boarding. If riding is your passion, Justamere has you covered with an indoor arena, a large lighted outdoor arena with an alleyway, a large jump course arena, a round pen for training, trails, and access to dirt roads. Private and shared lessons are available, so give Justamere Farms a call today at 229-460-2331.
So, Dawson, is Dad still ill about you calling him out on his shooting ability?
I don't think so, but I have seen him on the range a lot more lately.
Dad always says practice makes perfect.
That's what he says, but I don't think it works for adults.
Why do you say that?
Well, from the look of the scorecard, it's making it worse.
Dawson, bring me some more shotgun shells.
Okay, Dad.
If you need some practice, come by Southwind Clays and Quail on the Quitman Highway just past the river headed towards Quitman. With a top-notch clubhouse, a 5-stand, sporting clays range, as well as a rifle and pistol range, Southwind has what you need to succeed. World-class quail hunting is also available with some of the finest bird dogs around.
Dad sure shoots a lot.
Yeah, if he keeps this up, Mom's gonna be mad.
Why is that?
Because he's spending all Mom's shopping money on shotgun shells.
It's the Good Outdoors on 99.5 Kicks Country. Now, let's get back to the fun, talking about everything to do with the outdoors with Steve, Darrell, and Ronnie.
Welcome back. Go ahead.
Hey. We'll fight over the comeback here. We were talking about bag limits and stuff like that before we went to the break there. I just find it interesting and complex and complicated here, but again, like we were talking about, the bag limit is defined as the number of fish you can catch as an individual angler and possess in a given day. All right, and then once you reach that limit as an angler, you can catch and release, keep fishing and catch and release, but you can only keep them two. But another common term is the vessel limit, which is the maximum number of a particular species that can be possessed on a vessel at any given time. Vessel limits are always used in addition to individual bag limits and do not exempt any single angler from the individual limits. As an example, the rules for red drum provide a statewide vessel limit of 8 fish that is used in conjunction with the individual limits of 2 fish in the northern regions and 1 fish in the southern regions. This means that no more than 8 red drum can be possessed on a vessel, even if you have 5 or more licensed anglers on board in the north regions or 9 or more anglers on board in the south region.
It gets confusing.
It does. And, we were talking about during the break, you catch 12 different species of fish out there. You may be dealing with 12 different lengths of fish, 12 different amounts of fish.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, at certain times of the year, you may not even possess a fish that is long enough to keep at other times of the year. Yeah. But let's just say you're fishing in one of the 2 northern regions and your daily individual bag limit is 2 fish. If there are 2 anglers on the boat, there can be no more than 4 fish on board. 3 anglers can have a total of 6 fish, but 4 anglers can have no more than 8 fish.
Wow.
Can you believe this? I don't even know what I just said.
No. That's just too confusing.
I'm honest with you.
I know, and one question that always comes up. This guy from the DNR says they always ask, can one angler share his or her fish to help fill a bag limit? In other words, if me and you are fishing, and the limit's 5, and let's say I catch 6 and you've only caught 2.
Mm-hmm.
So can I slide a couple off of my catch into your cooler?
Legally, no.
No,
legally
the answer is no. Let's see them prove that one, right? But the answer is no. Bag limits are individual even when an overlapping vessel limit applies. This keeps folks from taking, for example, their infant nephew fishing so they can keep 2 more. Yeah, in other words, Junior over here in diapers, he's ever sucking his pacifier. Yeah, he caught 2 fish. But you may ask, if an FWC law enforcement officer checks my cooler, how will he or she know who caught that many fish? In an officer's observations, inspection, or investigation reveals you have caught more than your daily limit, you could be subject to the fines, but I'd like to see them prove it. We got a call coming in real quick. We'll go ahead and take it. Good morning, caller. You're on the Good Outdoors.
Good morning, you all.
What's happening?
It's them daggone saints. And that one out before, my daddy always had a set of saints.
Oh, yeah.
Corn. And saints.
Yep.
Then you come out there with frogs, snakes, turtles, fish, and we had it.
Oh, yeah.
You ever heard the saying, fish jumping in the boat with you?
Oh, yeah.
We used to, my brother-in-law, back in, he was passing through the Mississippi, that hurricane come through there and tore everything up. And he had a crew that went out there and put back the cables, the wires, and all that stuff. And my wife, we went out there to see them. And he had a friend had a boat that had a bunch of seine piled up on the back of it. He said, we're going to go out and muddy fish. And I said, okay. I ain't never been to a muddy fishing, but we went out there and he had a big old spotlight. He threw that light out around water, everything on fish, they went jumping all in the boat, slapped you upside the head.
Oh, yeah.
That's the best thing I ever seen, And so they shine the firemen where they're at, and they go to dead out, and they circle them. And once they got them circled, they get them all, drag them all up in there on the boat and stuff. So just before we quit fishing, he said, I'm going to do something that ain't really legal. I said, we'll get me in trouble over here in Pasadena. And then that squirrel get loose, I would be in a mess. But anyway, he put that in, he straight out right across my pier right there, kind of deep water. And he left about 15 minutes. He went back, and I'm telling you what to do. We couldn't hardly pull that thing in there, all kind of bruise, you name it. It was in there, son.
Yeah.
Anyway, we brought back about 300 pounds of dang bullet hooks to be come back. But that's the biggest thing I've seen in there. Thing when it's taking all up the boat.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, them mullet, they like to jump, man. They over in the Omaha River, we go over there, bait them up and catch them on brambuster poles, and you be sitting there every now and then want to jump up and hit you in the back.
Yeah. I just want to throw that in there. Y'all have a good morning. Having a good program.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Continue with the bag limit. It's just got me fascinated. There's a third type of bag limit. So you got to keep up with your individual limit. You got to keep up with the vessel limit. And then there's a third type of bag limit called the aggregate bag limit. Like your basic bag limit, this type applies to individual anglers, but instead of applying to only one species, it applies to several closely related species. Snappers and groupers are currently managed with aggregate limits in Florida waters. I did not know this. So let's just use snapper for an example. Currently, there's a 10 snapper aggregate bag limit in Florida waters. This means that you can harvest up to 10 snapper regardless of what individual species they are, as long as they are included in the aggregate. Keep in mind, this aggregate limit applies to most but not all species of snapper. Read the regulations carefully. Vermilion snapper, for example, is not included in the 10 snapper aggregate bag limit.
Good grief.
It has its own bag limit of 10 fish per angler per day in the Gulf and 5 per day in the Atlantic. This means that if you are fishing in state waters in the Gulf, you can keep an individual bag limit of vermilion snapper plus your aggregate limit of 10 other snappers in any combination of species. So you got red snapper, vermilion snapper, so you can mix and match, and you got to know, how many you can keep. But the vermilion snapper are separate. You can keep 10 of them. All right, and then the other, you got to go by the bag limit of them. The other nuance that should be pointed out here, I don't even know why they say the word nuance, but anyway, the other nuance that should be pointed out is that some snappers that are included within the aggregate limit also have individual bag limits. For example, red snapper has a 2-fish bag limit, and gray snapper has a 5-fish bag limit. Both species are counted as part of the 10 snapper aggregate. Okay, so if you got gray snapper and you've got red snapper, you can't have but 7 total. You got 5 of the gray and 2 of the other. Even though there's a 10 snapper aggregate, you got to fill the remaining 3 fish with another type of snapper. So unless it's vermilion snapper, then you can have as many as you want, or up to 10. So if anglers caught their 2 red snapper and their 5 gray snapper, they could still bring home 3 more snapper included in the aggregate, as long as the 3 were not additional gray or red snappers.
I can't even keep up.
And this goes on and on and on and on, man. It's the regulations. I'd like to see a stack of all the regulations on saltwater fishing for the state of Florida.
I think it would sink your boat.
I believe it would be bigger than Obamacare.
I think it's safe to say that most of the DNR people down there probably would have to go to a book to find out if you go over the limit or not.
All right. It gets worse. There are 2 more types of bag limits that you better know about.
Oh, God.
All right. The spiny lobster onshore possession limit and the red drum transportation limit. The spiny lobster possession limit applies during the 2-day sport season in late June and limits an individual angler to no more than a daily bag limit of lobster on the first day of the sport season and no more than 2 daily bag limits onshore on the second day. So in other words, if they come up to your house on the second day, you are allowed to have what you caught the first day and the second day in your possession. Right. That's actually pretty easy one.
There's something wrong with that one, because if you kept it for the second day, that means you wasn't eating it. You didn't want it.
Well, you could probably have it in your cooler or whatever, but it ain't gonna make it to the second day.
I'm not just saying if I'm pulling out of the water, it's going straight to a pot.
I got you. For red drum, no more than 6 fish per person can be transported by vehicle on land. If I'm fishing with 3 or more of my buddies and we catch our vessel limit of 8 red drum, I can take as many as 6 of those in my truck back to the house. But even though we legally caught 8, I can only have 6 in my vehicle in any way, shape, form, or fashion. So to get the other 2 home, you got to get a buddy to put them 2 in his truck. Now, ain't that crazy? You legally caught it, the limit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But you can't transport more than 6 of them in one vehicle. You got to have 2. You got to run 2 vehicles.
No, I'm saying no. You leave 2 in the boat and the 2 in your truck, and you come home.
He might be on something there.
Good luck with that. If that boat's hooked to your truck, you're screwed. I can take as many as 6. Okay. Wait a minute. That is, if my buddies decide I should have the fish, but because I'm such a great cook, I'm sure they would. That's what it says here. The limit helps deter attempts to sell red drum. That's the point right there. So if a guy is going around down there and saying, "Hey man, I'll give you $1 for every one of your red drums," and he ends up with 50 in his truck, and he's wanting to go sell them for $2 and double his money, that's the reason they have that rule in thing. Now that's just one little article about understanding recreational bag limits. Now, I've read all that to everybody, and I still don't understand it.
I don't either.
I got a headache now.
Yeah, that's how complicated that is.
It's ridiculous. It's way too over politicized.
Well, I don't. A lot of it is to protect the species. But sometimes I wonder if they're just micromanaging it.
Yeah. They are micromanaging it. It's ridiculous. I mean, it really is. Back when they had the I think it was the reds that were pretty much banned to be caught in the Gulf for several years ago.
Yep.
When I was down there fishing one weekend, all the old timers that fish every weekend down there said the population was better now than it had ever been, and they have it banned. And that was 4 or 5 years ago. So it's just ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. We're going to take a break. We're going to think about this and kind of clear our heads after all that useless information we just got, because I can't keep up with it. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Attention Outdoor Nation. Adel Outfitters, located at Exit 39 on I-75 in Adel, Georgia, has over 18,000 square feet of outdoor unbelievability just waiting on you. Specializing in a wide range of outdoor supplies for everyone, including hunting, fishing, shooting, kayaking, camping, Little League, clothing, knives, boots, you name it, Adel Outfitters has it. They also have that personal one-on-one attention that you just might not be getting from some of the big boxes, and Adel Outfitters has a whole lot less overhead, so you'll be surprised at the deals. So come see us now at Adel Outfitters, Exit 39, Adel, Georgia. Woo-wee! Sweet Tea's Smokehouse on South Hutchinson Avenue, Adel, is the bomb. You ain't had good old South Georgia barbecue if you ain't been to Sweet Tea's Smokehouse. Ribs, chicken, pork, beef, good grief, this is some fine eating. And it ain't called Sweet Tea's for nothing. Ice cold sweet tea and good old barbecue plate with all the trimmings is what living in the South is all about. Head up Highway 41 north towards Adel. Swing into Sweet Tea's Smokehouse for lunch or dinner. Great southern barbecue like it's supposed to be. And don't forget some of that fine Brunswick stew. Woo-wee!
Hi, I'm Barry Broom with Allstate Insurance Company. I'm a big fan of the great outdoors. There are many recreational activities that allow us to enjoy God's creation. There's boating, camping, hunting, hiking, fishing. Think about all the gear, equipment, and vehicles that we have that make those times outdoors so memorable. When it comes to protecting and insuring your firearm, your boat, RV, camper, four-wheeler, even your golf cart, think of me, Barry Broom, your Allstate agent. Call me at 229-244-9856 or visit me online at barrybroom.com. Go make a memory. Enjoy your great outdoors.
The grill might be in storage, but that's what campfires are for. And the backyard party is on hiatus, but that's because everyone is tailgating. Only the seasons change, tastes don't. And when you've got Bud Light Lime, you don't need summer to have a good time. It's the superior drinkability of Bud Light with a splash of 100% natural lime flavor. Look for a Bud Light Lime and find your summer state of mind anytime. It's in the lime. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Lime Flavored Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Brigman and Brigman Cabinets in Hayhira, Georgia specializes in custom-built cabinets. You can come in and sit down with our staff and start from scratch to develop the perfect cabinet layout. Or bring in your plans and start there. From design to installation, Brigman and Brigman can help you every step of the way. Estimates are always free, and your satisfaction is our goal. Whether it's a remodel, a spec house, or your custom-built dream home. Give Brigman & Brigman Cabinets in Hayhira a call at 229-794-2108 to set up an appointment. Crystal River Seafood on St. Augustine Road in Valdosta is a fine seafood dining experience. Folks from miles around come in to enjoy the fine seafood and friendly atmosphere Crystal River has to offer. Their friendly staff makes your dining experience one to remember, as well as one to repeat. Fish like grouper, salmon, mahi, catfish are always great choices, along with shrimp, oysters, crab cakes, and crab legs. Hey, you not in the mood for seafood? Order a juicy ribeye steak. Crystal River Seafood is open for lunch and dinner. Crystal River Seafood, 958 St. Augustine Road, Valdosta, Georgia.
WKAA, Willacoochee, Valdosta.
More country. More country. More country.
99.5 Kicks Country is my radio station.
99.5
Kicks Country. It's the Good Outdoors on 99.5 Kicks Country. Now, let's get back to the fun, talking about everything to do with the outdoors with Steve, Darrell, and Ronnie.
Welcome back this morning to the Good Outdoors. We've been talking a little bit about bag limits on the ocean, what you can keep, your limits, and I am totally confused.
Yeah, you better have your ducks in a row when you go to Florida fishing.
You know what? You better go with a guide.
I found something easy. Just go down there and go to the restaurants and just eat what they got.
Yeah, that seems a little easier.
You got to go with a guide or somebody that goes enough that knows what they're doing.
Yeah, well, if you're planning a trip, you can do a little research ahead of time, and if you go, usually when you're going out there, you're going for a specific species, but there's a lot to know down there. But the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, shifting gears from fish to animals, and partners rescued an approximately 9-month-old female Florida panther in the Golden Gates Estates area of Collier County. The FWC received a call about a panther kitten dragging its rear leg. A homeowner noticed the injured panther earlier that morning as he was leaving for work. When he returned home and saw the panther a second time, he notified law enforcement.
Come get this thing.
The FWC panther biologists and law enforcement officers, deputies with the Collier County Sheriff's Office, and staff from the Golden Gate Animal Clinic responded to the area where the panther was last seen. They located the panther in thick brush and sedated it. After an on-scene assessment on the panther's condition, it was transported to the Animal Specialty Hospital of Florida. Vets at the hospital determined that the panther had a compound fracture in her right rear leg, rib fractures, and bruising around the lung, all of which were likely caused by a vehicle collision. That evening, they performed surgery using a steel plate to mend the bone together. With the help of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, the panther was taken to White Oak Conservation Center in Yulee, Florida, where she will receive care until she has fully healed from injuries and ready to be released back into the wild. So there's some conservation. Florida residents can support conservation efforts like the rescue and rehabilitation of this panther by purchasing a panther license plate. Fees from the sale of that plate are the primary funding source for the FWC's research and management of Florida panthers. So pretty cool article there on rehabilitating an injured Florida panther. That's a good thing.
There's a lot of that goes unnoticed, even right here locally. Of rehabilitation places for animals. I mean, there's places locally that do it, and it goes unnoticed. And the people don't, they don't care. They don't care that they don't get notoriety or fame for it. They're out there doing it because they love it.
That's right. They do it to love it, but. That's interesting that the primary funding comes from that tag sale. I've seen that, traveling around, you see a lot of the Florida Panther tags when you're in Florida. So pretty cool that they've found a way to, benefit the research and care for that particular species.
Yes, sir. You see a lot. You're right. You see a lot of them tags.
Yep. The final draft of the action plan to identify wildlife species that are endangered in Florida and to create a list to identify state threatened or species of special concern. The final group is releasing the draft action for 13 species, in addition to pillar coral and kestrel. There are plans for the limpkin, crystal darter, Black Creek crayfish, Santa Fe cave crayfish, and 7 reptiles that reside in the Florida Keys. The reptiles are the key ringneck snake, rimrock crowned snake, Florida Keys mole skink, as well as lower Keys populations of Florida brown snakes, peninsula ribbon snakes, red rat snakes, and striped mud turtles.
Wow.
Interesting stuff there. We got a call coming in real quick. Good morning, caller. You're on the Good Outdoors. How are you?
Good morning, guys.
What's happening?
Hey, I just wondered, could you repeat all that?
No. Give me a headache.
Hey, you talking about the restrictions and all that? That's how come the guys are having so much trouble.
Yeah.
Fishing down there. It's not worth their time and their gas to go out carrying out a charter group.
Well, you're right. I'm not going to go down there if the limit of a fish, let's just say, is 2. Okay, I'm not going to spend my time. And I got mad one year down there at Destin. We chartered a boat there. We went literally probably 600-700 yards off the beach, trolled for just a few minutes, and caught two kings, and that was it. He wouldn't even let us keep fishing and throw the fish back. He said, "That's it. I've done my job. I put you on your fish." There were 6 of us. We had 12 fish. We were back at the shore with nothing to do.
And he went out right after that again with another charter and made a bunch more money.
Oh yeah, he was wearing them out.
It's ridiculous. They need to go back and revise what they're doing.
Yeah, I just it's hard to believe you can fish the ocean out, but I guess you can if you don't watch it. But it's aggravating.
That was like I was reading an article about the tuna. Do you know how much the I think it's China or it's China. I believe it's China. They consume 80% of the world's catch of tuna.
Yeah, that's right. And guess what? I read yesterday talking about China. They are now the world's by far the world's leading consumer of pork, to the point that they just bought Smithfield here in the United States, which is the largest producer of pork. They have purchased it and are with the sole. We produce so many millions of hogs over here, and it's about 5 or 6 times more over there. They can't keep up. They can't keep pork furnished enough, so they're now buying a United States company to keep their supply of pork.
But they're throwing thousands of them in the daggum river over there.
Yeah, I saw that too. They need to come over here to Florida, let them go down there and hunt them and get their home pork.
Yeah. Let a bunch of short Chinamen out here in the woods catching hogs. That's what we need to do. Hog eradication project here at the Good Outdoors.
All right, guys, y'all have a good man. Just holler at you.
All right, appreciate it.
See you.
But yeah, talking about the species in Florida, it's making me think. You don't really know how many different species of animals and reptiles are in the United States. They're just literally hundreds of thousands.
Yes, there are.
Things that you've never thought of. A lot of snakes down in Florida are endangered apparently because there's a lot of snakes on this list here. But 60 species are being managed currently as being imperiled.
I've got some breaking news that you will be interested in.
What is it?
A man makes a 911 call and claims he has proof of Bigfoot.
Well,
Pennsylvania. He's got proof, dude. Last week, police in Altoona, Pennsylvania received a 911 call from a man claiming he had proof of Bigfoot. Fox News reports that during the call, John Winesickle reportedly asked police to come over to his house and to show them the proof. An officer was soon dispatched to the home where he was shown several images of Bigfoot's alleged footprints.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he then took the officer on the path in the woods where he thought he had found the prints. However, according to the officer concluded that the tracks had been made by a bear. He had been sighted a bear. And when Bigfoot, now listen, this is the typical Bigfoot story. When Bigfoot enthusiasts learned about the call, rumors that a man had shot and killed Bigfoot began to spread all over the internet. So it's typical of Bigfoot rumors, bits and pieces, but no real sources. Speculation then went crazy within hours thanks to Bigfoot online community. And this is absolutely the worst way to get information, this lady wrote. So there you go. Your Bigfoot turned out to be a black bear.
That's just that one. There's plenty of credible sources that have identified Bigfoot that cannot be refuted.
I have not found one credible one.
I ain't found a credible one either.
There's plenty out there.
They're trying.
Credible?
Yes, sir. The most famous one out there was the old footage where the guy shot the footage of the Bigfoot walking across the stream up into the woods. To this day, it has not been able to have been refuted. It hadn't.
Actually, I thought either one of the people, one of the children of the people that shot that Robinson and Pattinson film actually come forward, but they kind of squashed that and said, no, well, it was fate. But they kind of squashed anyway.
Not the one I'm talking about.
None of it's credible.
Okay, it's never been refuted, so okay.
Where's the proof?
It.
Y'all keep your head in the sand.
The video can be manipulated. Where's the proof?
The video from 1950 or 60 can be manipulated. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Technology, all the great technology we have, has not refuted that video. That's irrefutable.
Oh, the video can be real, but the things in the video can't be real.
They have not been able to disprove it. So you go back to the age-old question: if you can, you got to be able to not only. It's like finding somebody guilty, like on John Grayson's show this morning. We were talking about the Trayvon Martin thing. His take on the situation is that he's not going to be convicted because the bottom line is there was only 2 people there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, one of them's dead, so you're not going to get the other one's account of what happened, and you can't prove the other one. So his thing is there's no way they can convict him, and he's right. Now, when you get in a courtroom and things like that, and you start going on opinion, you may make a decision based on opinion. But if you stick to facts, there's 2 outcomes. It either happened, or you can't prove that it happened or didn't happen. I guess I should say. Just like the Bigfoot sighting, just like this video, you can't prove. You've got the video, but there's 2 things: is it real, or is it not real?
The video is real, but the thing
is, I'm talking about what you saw. Is what you saw real, or is it not? You either can prove it.
It can be anything,
but you can't prove it. You're making my point,
and you can't disprove it.
That's my point. That's what I'm saying.
But you can't prove it either.
You can't prove or disprove it. So if you can't prove or disprove it, how can you sit there and say it's real or not real? That's my point.
It's the Patterson.
So don't
Gimlin
sit there
film.
and tell me that it's not real.
It's the Patterson
But I
Gimlin
can't be
film.
proved it is real.
I can't sit there and tell you it's real, and you can't tell me it ain't real.
Exactly.
We don't know.
We don't
there
know.
wasn't nobody there but the guy that took the video and whoever was walking across it.
That's why until I have it in front of me, physically can touch it. Is it there or not? I don't know.
Well, enjoy the breath you breathe because you can't physically see or touch that, but it's there, ain't it?
Oh, Lord, here we go again.
Hey,
Why did I open my mouth about Bigfoot? Really?
Yeah,
Did I have to open my mouth this morning? We're going to take a break. We'll be right back here on the Good Outdoors.
Service. It's a very simple word, but you'd think it's French. At Deep South Sanitation, our service will never be questioned. We are there when we say we'll be there. If there's a couple extra bags by the can, we pick it up. Deep South Sanitation don't care if the lid won't close. All the more reason to dump it. If you're elderly or disabled, the Deep South Sanitation team will get your can, dump it, and put it back. If trash blew out, we don't leave it, we pick it up. Keep the money you pay for sanitation services local by supporting Deep South Sanitation, a locally owned business. Call Carrie Scarborough today at Deep South Sanitation, 229-559-0200. It's that time of year. People everywhere will be scrambling to find somebody to take care of filing their taxes. Fast Tax and Bookkeeping at 1407 West Hill Avenue, Suite Q has a quick turnaround time and the knowledge to prepare your taxes properly, making sure you are getting what's due. With $25 1040 EZ filings, electronic refunds in a flash, military and college student discounts, and fast and friendly service, drop by and see Lisa Griffiths and the gang at 1407 West Hill Avenue, Suite Q, or give them a call at 229-253-0181 to schedule an appointment.
SWAT Graphics, located at 300 South Toombs Street, is the area's #1 graphic design service company. Specializing in graphic banners, stickers, signs, and design, SWAT Graphics can help from concept to completion. If you have a design idea for a company logo, SWAT Graphics can bring it to reality. Maybe you have a logo and just need it placed on a sign, sticker, or banner. Whatever the case, stop by SWAT Graphics at 300 South Toombs Street, Valdosta, or give them a call at 241-9185. SWAT Graphics, proud sponsor of the Good Outdoors.
Hey, this is Judd with T3 Outdoors. Did you know that T3 Outdoors buys, sells, trades, and consigns used guns? We need your used guns. T3 Outdoors has a huge selection of turkey gear, from mouth calls, box calls, decoys, and ammo. T3 also has $8.99 sweet fee. We also have new spring Under Armour, Guy Harvey, and AFCO shorts. T3 also carries knives, Yeti coolers, boots, Costa sunglasses, and more. T3 Outdoors is locally owned and operated on Perimeter Road next to Zacadoo's.
There's only one place in Valdosta if you want the freshest seafood in town. It's Bubba Jack's Crab Shack at 1700 West Hill Avenue. They got wild Georgia shrimp cooked about any way you could want it. Fried, peel and eat, grilled, or buffalo style. They got a Wednesday night oyster special at $7.99 a dozen, and that ain't no mistake. $7.99 a dozen, Wednesday night only. Bring the kids with you, and if they don't eat seafood, get them some chicken tender baskets or hamburger or hot dog. And do not forget to try the fresh cut, hand-dipped onion rings at Bubba Jack's Crab Shack, 1700 West Hill Avenue, Valdosta.
Justamere Farm is a full boarding, training, and lesson facility conveniently located on Valdale Road in Hayhire. Justamere Farm offers a facility like no other in the area with many amenities to meet all your equine needs, whether it's riding, training, or boarding. If riding is your passion, Justamere has you covered with an indoor arena, a large lighted outdoor arena with an alleyway, a large jump course arena, a round pen for training, trails, and access to dirt roads. Private and shared lessons are available, so give Justamere Farms a call today at 229-460-2331.
You're listening to The Good Outdoors with Steve, Darrell, and Ronnie on 99.5 Kicks Country. Now, let's get back to the fun.
Welcome back this morning. So we're off the Bigfoot thing. We're going on with bigger and better things.
How many fish can I catch?
Who cares?
Quarter what you're going after.
I don't even know anymore. But Darrell did tell me about a new record. And it's a record catfish. Is that the one you were talking about when I was out of the room earlier? Caught on a fly rod in Texas?
No, he was.
No, that's a different one.
He was. We were talking about a rainbow trout that was caught in West Virginia or somewhere when you had the covey quail rising from you.
And then Ashley Coombs actually sent a message about this one, but it's a new state record for heaviest channel catfish caught on a fly rod. The fish weighed 20.8 pounds. And that sucker is big to be caught on a fly rod. And the guy goes on to tell a story about it. He actually said it's about 9 a.m. on one morning on his first or second cast. He said he saw the fly line jump and immediately set the hook with a fast strip. The fly probably hadn't sunk 12 inches when the catfish picked it up. Once he hooked the catfish, swirled and began digging down. He adjusted the drag, knowing I'd just hooked into a great catfish. He said he immediately began running or was attempting to go into deeper water, so I tightened my drag more to create the most resistance I could, and he battled the fish for about 20 minutes before it tired and allowed him to land it. 20 pounds on a fly rod, dude. That's unbelievable.
That's a good one right there now. That's a good one.
Texas. It doesn't say from where I saw. I don't believe it said it's what lake it was on or where it was at, but golly, can you imagine? I've played with a fly rod before, once or twice here and there, but I've never gotten serious with it. But I couldn't imagine catching a 20-pound fish on that. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, they use fly rods in the ocean, on big species. But I think those are pretty stout fly rods there. Big beefy ones there, and different test lines and all to catch big, tarpon,
right,
stuff like that. But I just came across an interesting article here from our friends in California. California man is facing possible charges after he fired shots at 3 burglary suspects who appeared to be casing his neighborhood. Fox 5 reports 57-year-old James Monroe says he was in his San Diego home when he saw the suspect steal from his neighbor's house. Then he says they returned less than an hour later in a car. Monroe allegedly told his wife to call the police and headed outside armed with a gun. The car began speeding away, so Monroe allegedly fired 2 shots at it. A male in the car was hospitalized. The 2 other passengers, an 18-year-old and a 19-year-old, were arrested. The female driver had a felony warrant out for auto theft. She was arrested. The female passenger in the back had a warrant too and was also arrested. However, Monroe, who fired the 2 shots, was also arrested. As with any level of force, especially deadly force, your level of actions are going to be critiqued. We're doing a very thorough investigation as with any force. Monroe made bail Wednesday and is waiting to hear from the district attorney if he will file charges. The neighbor who was allegedly robbed, however, says he should be commended for his actions. It's not right. He's a really good person. Well, I don't know what everybody's thoughts on that is, but
I don't agree. That's something you're taught early on, and I'm going to talk about this in a minute. But you got to know your target for one. I personally, if somebody's robbing my neighbor's house, and they start driving off, I will not, in my neighborhood, as populated as it is, start shooting at that car.
No.
Not just for them robbing a house. Now, if they're shooting at me, yeah, guys, neighbors, look out. But
I think the law is
pretty. You gotta know your target.
I think the law in Georgia here is pretty clear. If that went down in your neighborhood and you shot, you probably would be arrested. I would imagine. Now you have the right to defend your property. If they are on your property, stealing something out of your shed, you can pop a cap in them and be totally legal. However, if they're robbing your neighbor's shop, and even if there is a clear shot back towards the woods, you can't shoot at them if they're robbing the neighbor. You can shoot them if they're robbing you. But
that's why you go down there and confront them, make them come running at you, and then you can shoot them.
Well, I think he did everything right up by calling 911 and all that. I think it was right all the way up to the point he grabbed his gun and went outside. He should have stayed in the house. But anyway.
Yeah, you can't shoot. You just can't shoot at somebody like that. You got to know your target. And you never know. It could be, yeah.
Well, he knew his target. He knew that they were burglars, but I still don't think you can go out there and shoot if they're not, unless they're robbing your property.
I have my, don't get me wrong, they need to be punished. I don't mind if they're even shot, really, for stealing. I really don't mind that. But I'm just picturing this in my neighborhood. You know where I live, and it's like where you live. You can't do that. You can't shoot at somebody like that. Now,
no, there ain't no way.
It's just too crowded and too populated. Now, you're out in the middle of the country, it's a different story. But you never know. I mean, I don't think the guy should be prosecuted, but he needs to have more sense than open fire in a crowded place. That's all I got to say about that.
Well, things could be worse. I mean, you could be like this, go in one day to a place to get buttock injections and end up getting both your hands and feet and your butt amputated because you got some bad injections.
Ooh. Oh, really?
Yeah. A British woman lost both her hands and feet as well as her butt after getting black market silicone injections that turned out to be comprised of bathroom sealant.
Well, I don't. Mine's not black. Mine's not black market. When I get my buttock injections, it's not black market. It's actually on the up and up.
TMI, brother. TMI.
No. Why does anybody want to go through any Botox injections or anything like that? Really?
Well, this lady, she's 46 years old. She'd been teased as a child about her small butt, so she vowed to change it when she got older. And one day at her beauty salon, she spoke to a woman who ran pumping parties where unlicensed practitioners injected silicone into patients at their homes.
Why do you do that?
That is fraught with peril, to say the least.
Why? I've never understood why people want to, these movie stars inject their lips with this stuff, to make their lips bigger. And
you got to stay on top, baby. You got to stay on top.
No, really?
Yeah, that's why Jane Fonda's 127 years old. Looks like she's 40.
Well, that's why we do radio, so we ain't got to worry about having the face for it.
There you go. We can look as ugly as we want.
Doggone right, and some of y'all capitalize on that, by the way. Hey, I spent the day yesterday. I wanted to cover this morning after the 5 o'clock hour. I spent most of the day yesterday picking up donations for our Heather project, and I want to say a big thank you to a lot of people out there. Me and Steve went by Sam's and got a whole pallet of water that had been bought and paid for that we're sending out there. And by the way, my little Dodge truck didn't like having that 1,500 pounds of water on it, but we did get it delivered to where the truck's going to pick it up at. 10 bags of horse feed. Then commenced to go to Lakeland and went to Lakeland Drug Company where Miss Dot had called yesterday morning, and we were not prepared for what we were running into at Lakeland Drug Company. We got there, and the nice people there took us into this back room, opened the door, and there was box after box after box of paper towels, napkins, toilet paper, razors, shaving cream, feminine supply needs, brand new cases, case after case of this. We loaded down. It was absolutely half of the 16-foot trailer was loaded with cases of these goods that they donated from Lakeland Drug Company. and these smaller boxes, even right down to insect repellent, had cases of insect repellent that we had to put in back of the truck. And I want to extend my heartfelt thanks to these people at Lakeland Drug Company. Miss Dot, you know you're a very special person. Went out to her house, and she donated item after item after item from her stash. And we brought it back to Eagle Auto and parked it in the bay last night. We're going to have to go through and get it all unloaded because I've got to go get another trailer for today and another trailer for tomorrow.
Yeah,
people rose up.
Oh, they responded in grand fashion, man, and it is overwhelming that that we were able to do that, and I know that everybody that it gets to is going to be very appreciative of our efforts, and it just makes you feel good, and everybody that participated, all our listeners, and that donated and contributed, you know who you are. I mean, you can have a smile on your face and feel good in your heart that you did it, because it's going to be well used. And the good thing about it is we're all going to know exactly where it went and what it did, and that 110% of everything that we picked up, collected, is going straight to someone who needs it. So that's the good thing about it is, not to say some of these organizations are not, doing the right thing and getting money where it needs to go, but you always wonder. The Blake Shelton benefit last night apparently was an overwhelming success. But when you text 999 to Verizon on your phone or whatever and donate $10, you're on a wing and a prayer, and you hope that it gets to where it's at, and you do the right thing, and wonder where it goes shouldn't keep you from doing it. But at least with what we did with the Heather Project, we all know and can rest assured that the diapers, the baby formula, the water, the horse feed, we know right where it's going. That's a comfort. We know how it got there because we're the ones taking it.
Mm-hmm.
So
this lady in Lake Park donated some stuff. She called in yesterday morning, and we went over to her house, one of our first trips after we got the water and the horse feed, and she donated item after item that she's actually moving and can't take it with her, and she had to part with some items that she really didn't want to part with, because she couldn't carry them, but she knew that they'd be put to good use by the people out in Oklahoma, and we're going to get this truck headed their way just as soon as possible to get the items out there to them, and whatever they can't use in their setting right there, they know, since they live there, they know the places that need this stuff, and they will get them to the right place. And we appreciate everything you guys have done in the Good Outdoors Nation. Man, it's just y'all have rose up, and we're fulfilling a need out there, and I can't think of a better way to do it. I mean, just to band together and make this thing happen. Hey, we're going to take another break here. We'll be right back in just a few minutes on the Good Outdoors.
Wow, look at Bob trimming the grass. He's so fast.
I know, and that mower is so big.
And it's got a huge deck.
And it cuts the long grass with deep roots so easily.
Yeah, Bob's a bad boy.
When you want to cut grass like a champion, get yourself a Bad Boy mower from Nashville Tractor. Nashville Tractor carries an exclusive line of Bad Boy zero-turn mowers. See them now at Nashville Tractor in Valdosta and in Nashville.
Whitman, Georgia, and antiques go hand in hand. Tammy's Antiques and Consignment, located at 211 East Screven Street in Quitman, is a traditional Southern antique shop with a little twist, offering a consignment program that fits like a glove in the spacious downtown shop. But the real twist is Zumba. That's right, Tammy also offers Zumba fitness classes as well as tanning. Come by and check out the literally thousands of items upstairs and down. And if you have an item that you want Tammy to sell, bring it in. That's Tammy's Antiques and Consignment, 211 East Screven Street, Quitman, or give Tammy a call at 229-506-9146.
Attention Outdoor Nation. Adel Outfitters, located at exit 39 on I-75 in Adel, Georgia, has over 18,000 square feet of outdoor unbelievability just waiting on you. Specializing in a wide range of outdoor supplies for everyone, including hunting, fishing, shooting, kayaking, camping, Little League, clothing, knives, boots, you name it, Adel Outfitters has it. They also have that personal one-on-one attention that you just might not be getting from some of the big boxes, and Adel Outfitters has a whole lot less overhead, so you'll be surprised at the deals. So come see us now at Adel Outfitters, exit 39, Adel, Georgia. Woo-wee! Sweet Tea's Smokehouse on South Hutchinson Avenue, Adel, is the bomb. You ain't had good old South Georgia barbecue if you ain't been to Sweet Tea's Smokehouse. Ribs, chicken, pork, beef, good grief, this is some fine eating. And it ain't called Sweet Tea's for nothing. Ice cold sweet tea and good old barbecue plate with all the trimmings is what living in the South is all about. Head up Highway 41 north towards Adel. Swing into Sweet Tea's Smokehouse for lunch or dinner. Great southern barbecue like it's supposed to be. And don't forget some of that fine Brunswick stew. Woo-wee! Jones Welding and Industrial Supply has been serving South Georgia and North Florida for over 3 decades. With 9 locations in the South, Jones Welding and Industrial Supply is a full-line distributor for all welding and industrial supplies. The Jones mission is to provide quality products at a competitive price in order to supply the best service available. Jones Welding and Industrial Supply has built a reputation for good, honest, old-fashioned service. For a location near you, visit www.joneswelding.com. Jones Welding and Industrial Supply is a proud supporter of the Good Outdoors. Service. It's a very simple word, but you'd think it's French. At Deep South Sanitation, our service will never be questioned. We are there when we say we'll be there. If there's a couple extra bags by the can, we pick it up. Deep South Sanitation don't care if the lid won't close. All the more reason to dump it. If you're elderly or disabled, the Deep South Sanitation team will get your can, dump it, and put it back. If trash blew out, we don't leave it, we pick it up. Keep the money you pay for sanitation services local by supporting Deep South Sanitation, a locally owned business. Call Carrie Scarborough today at Deep South Sanitation, 229-559-0200.
You're listening to The Good Outdoors with Steve, Darrell, and Ronnie on 99.5 Kicks Country. Now, let's get back to the fun.
Welcome back to The Good Outdoors this morning. Now, me and Ronnie went yesterday to over to Lakeland and then went out at Lakeland Drug Company, then went out to Miss Dot's house, and we were out there loading the stuff up they had gathered up to donate. And her daughter and grandkids were on the porch, and her daughter just had her 18-year-old son, Clint Austin Smith, join the Marines.
Oh,
he
right.
graduated school Saturday, and he left Tuesday for boot camp.
Awesome, man.
And
congratulations.
Nobody in their entire family has any history with the military, but since he's been 8 years old, this boy has wanted to join the Marines.
Good for him.
And man, it's a special thing. I want to give a special shout out to him this morning. No, he can't hear us. He's at boot camp, but just a great thing, man. You're doing great things, and proud of your family and proud of you. I've got a call coming in. Let's take it. Good morning, caller. On the Good Outdoors.
Good morning, Captain Steve Kroll here in Steenhatchee. How are you?
I'm good, man. I hope you got my message. We wasn't going to be live Monday.
Well, that's kind of how I'm not calling now until Wednesday. I forgot. Well, today's even Thursday, isn't it?
That's right. It is.
I got off schedule there a little bit.
Well, I'm glad you called back, man. I was going to give you a call today if I hadn't heard from you this morning and touch base with you. And how's the fishing going down there?
It's good. Starting to warm up, kind of getting into a summertime pattern, but it's good. Very good. We're still having outstanding speckled trout fish.
Mm-hmm. And you got charters every day. I'm sure people are eating it up, aren't they?
Not every day, despite what some folks think. You cannot fish every day.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do it. It's impossible.
You'd be wore slap out, I would imagine, if you did it every day.
Especially when it gets this time of year, it gets this warm.
That heat takes it out of you.
That reminds me of what's coming up, though. Scallop season is coming up July the 1st,
mm-hmm.
and that's always fun to fish in the morning when it's cooler and get in the water and gather scallops at about 11 or 12 o'clock midday.
So you actually do that also, I'm sure, don't you?
Yes, I do. Yeah. It's great fun, and now some folks don't like getting in the water, but if you have any ideas about like getting in the water, it's great fun. It's hard to describe.
Mm-hmm. I'd like to get down there. We were actually talking about scallop fishing or scalloping earlier this morning.
Is that right?
Yeah, another guy had called in, a local guy here, and he'd been down there fishing. He talked about it. How long does the season last? Does it last into August, or I know it starts July 1st?
It starts July 1st, and it last year they extended it by 2 weeks, so it goes to September the 24th.
Good gracious, that is long.
It used to end on the 10th, and but after the oil spill and a few other things like that, they added and did an extension and took it to the 24th. So
mm-hmm.
We were talking a little bit this morning about the various bag limits and aggregate limits and vessel limits and how many red snapper you can transport in a vehicle and all that. There's so many rules and regulations and different zones and areas. How in the world do you keep up with all that and all the changes and things that go on there? How do you keep yourself up to date?
Well, it's relatively easy for me as far as the area that I fish, state waters. I'm in state waters. I don't fish in federal waters, so I really don't have to try to commit any of that to memory.
Right.
But even traveling around the state on inshore waters, there's different rules.
Mm-hmm.
So, trout, for example, and is the one thing, and of course the cutoffs with scallop season coming up. We were just talking about the cutoffs of where it is legal and where it's not. I recommend the state of Florida puts out a real nice little magazine every. I don't think it's monthly, but I do believe it's quarterly, and it always has the center page in it, which is 2 pages. Always has all the regs on it, and that's the best suggestion I have for that. I usually keep one. The marinas and places like that will usually have them.
Right.
That's a handy thing to have.
It is, man. There's just so much to keep up with. And, Darrell was talking earlier, when we were down in Crystal River here recently and filming a little bit. And the boat he was on, they ended up catching 12 different species of fish,
right.
That morning. And
right.
you gotta know what you're dealing with.
Right.
All of them are different sizes, different limits, and it's just a lot to keep up with.
That's right. Wasn't that great, though? I mean,
oh, yeah.
Awesome.
To catch my boat record is 17.
Wow.
17 different species, and we don't keep up with it all the time. But, you always have, or I do, I have a customer that's just really fascinated by that fact, and May is probably the best month to do that, So there's so many different things fighting in May.
17 different species. That is amazing to me.
You sure can't go to a freshwater pond and do that, can you?
No. No, you sure can't.
So what you got coming up on the weekend? Are you gearing up for?
We're still trout and red fishing, and right now we've been concentrating on this more shallow flat, and it still works for trout, but it's going to be it'll get to where it'll shut down about 10, 11 in the morning when the sun gets high. Mm-hmm. So then the deeper flats is where we're concentrating a little bit more, starting to, and from now on through the summer, as far as catching numbers of trout, working on a limit or whatever, we'll be fishing, 6 to 10 and as much as 12 or 14 foot flat some days.
Wow.
Depending on how hard we have to look. But and it's a little bit different, deep jigging, we call it like that. It's for trout. So.
Yeah, see, I'm used to 3 to 4, maybe 5 foot, and now you're telling me 6 to 10 and even 12 foot deep. That's a little different than what I'm used to.
Right. Well, my favorite is 2 to 3 foot.
Yeah.
So, that's what I enjoy doing, and I still do it in the morning, but you got to do it early.
Yeah.
Because trout seem to be much more sun sensitive than some other fish. So when that sun gets too high, they don't seem to bite people. You'll see it shut down. You'll see it down right in the middle. In the mornings like that.
Starts getting hot, and they're gonna go to some deeper water, aren't they?
They're gonna go to deep water, or they're just gonna bury up in the grass on the flat, grass on the flat. So.
Yep.
And
all right.
I'm sure the wind plays a big effect too, on how you can go out and how far you can go in different water, but also has a different direction will carry the fish in a different direction. Wind will carry the fish in a different direction, won't it?
We have that conversation a good bit about how east is least and west is best. I don't know if you've ever heard that.
Oh yeah.
And the old timers around here will tell you a north wind will hurt the fish. That's more of a wintertime thing, of course, or a cooler weather thing. But it is true. And the way fish position themselves in current, so if you're drifting one way, it's going to change the way you're going to present your bait to them. So Those things are, I mean, and if you just visualize what's going on the bottom when you're making a drift across the flats, working your bait, I mean, it changes with wind direction and tide and everything else. So, and it will be more or less effective. So, it's really tough. I wish I knew what all the formulas were and all the patterns, but we could get rich overnight, couldn't we?
You sure could, I guarantee you. Well, we appreciate you calling in, and we look forward to hearing from you again next week on whatever day you want to call in.
Well, I might try to get back on that Monday thing. That'll work best. But you guys have a good day, and enjoyed visiting with you.
All right, we appreciate it. Y'all check him out, Captain Steve Kroll's Pepperfish Key Charters on Facebook, and out of Steinhatchee, Florida. Y'all check him out. Great guy. Does a lot of good fishing. We appreciate you calling in again, buddy.
Thanks. Y'all have a good day.
You too. Always good to hear from somebody down there that knows what they're doing. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people from here in Valdosta locally that know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. But he lives in Steinhatchee, and he does it for a living, and he has to know what he's doing to do it for a living. Mm-hmm. There's no doubt about it. Always good to hear from him.
It was interesting that he pointed out that guide that you can pick up. That sounds like a helpful piece of information there. So pick it up at the marina there and ask about it. That'll keep you current with everything. I don't know if there's a charge. I'm sure that they have to. If they publish it quarterly, you got to be able to cover some costs there.
That's right. You got to. You can't just give it away. Hey, we got to hit the weather real quick this morning. If I can get it pulled back up on my slow-acting computer that Darrell Semple is going to have to work on today for me after the show. 73 degrees out there right now.
I got a big sledgehammer.
95 degrees for a high today. It's getting hot. It's summertime. 12-mile-an-hour wind. That'll help a little bit. And like I said earlier, the UV index on a scale of 1 to 10 is an 11. So you're going to get some sun if you're out there. So if you're going out anywhere in the sunshine, to be out in the sun today, carry some sunscreen. Low of 70.
Okay, stay away from my backyard today then.
Oh, you going to be out in the backyard? Shh. You ain't going to be in a bathing suit, are you?
I hope not.
I hope not.
That's why I was giving the warning.
I don't believe I'm going to go there today. It's going to be hot. Got a little bit of a cooling trend coming up, I believe. I think it's going to get down to like 90 this weekend.
Yeah.
It's not going to be quite as hot. But that's your local weather because my computer seems to be wanting to go crazy this morning.
I like how you said that. Cool down to the 90s.
Yep. Actually 96 tomorrow, 92 Saturday, and 94 Sunday. And slight chance of rain Saturday and Sunday, only 30% chance. And looks pretty good. Maybe towards the weekend, next weekend, we may be getting some more rain, up to 60% chance, and that'll change. But staying pretty constant, lows in the 70s, highs around 90. And that's all you can say. I mean, it doesn't change unless it gets hotter, and it's going to get lows in the 70s and possibly even 78 degrees and highs in the hundreds later on next month.
And that good old chance of those afternoon thunderstorms that pop up.
Always, man. I tell you what, we appreciate everybody chiming in on Facebook this morning also, and I just still can't get over what we went on yesterday. We went to Lakeland Drug Company. Guys, I can't get over that. We walked in there not expecting anything like we got, and we loaded the truck down. We sure did.
That's impressive. Now we got to just figure out how to get it out there.
Oh, yeah. Well, it'll be on its way here soon. Hey, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back with our wrap-up segment here on the Good Outdoors.
So, Dawson, is Dad still ill about you calling him out on his shooting ability?
I don't think so, but I have seen him on the range a lot more lately.
Dad always says practice makes perfect.
That's what he says, but I don't think it works for adults.
Why do you say that?
Well, from the look of the scorecard, it's making it worse.
Dawson, bring me some more shotgun shells.
Okay, Dad.
If you need some practice, come by Southwind Clays and Quail on the Quitman Highway just past the river headed towards Quitman. With a top-notch clubhouse, a 5-stand, sporting clays range, as well as a rifle and pistol range, Southwind has what you need to succeed. World-class quail hunting is also available with some of the finest bird dogs around.
Dad sure shoots a lot.
Yeah, if he keeps this up, Mom's gonna be mad.
Why is that?
Because he's spending all Mom's shopping money on shotgun shells.
Man, I have picked up some bad habits.
You don't need any more bad habits. Are you talking about Bad Habits Saloon and Grub?
Oh, yeah, baby. Nothing like throwing back a cold one and watching one of their 26 high-definition TVs.
Yeah, and you don't have to ask what sort of beverage they have, because they've got it all at Bad Habits Saloon and Grub.
That's right, over 300 bottled beers. Any premium drink you could ask for, including single malt scotch and single barrel bourbon.
And 48 beers on tap. Oh, and the food, from juicy ribeye steaks at $9.99 to foot-long premium hot dogs, and $10.99 all-you-can-eat wings from 10 to 11 p.m.
And no matter what mood you're in, there's 3 environments to enjoy: a dining area, a bar, an outside patio, TVs, and all 3 places, baby.
Come on out and enjoy a live DJ every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night, and grab a $2 16-ounce draft or a $6 domestic bucket while you mingle.
Come visit Bad Habit Saloon and Grub and let them serve you what you want, not what they want you to have.
Bad Habit Saloon and Grub, near the mall on Gornto Road, right behind Exit 18 Liquors. Tell them we sent you from the Good Outdoors.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Hi, I'm Barry Broom with Allstate Insurance Company. I'm a big fan of the great outdoors. There are many recreational activities that allow us to enjoy God's creation. There's boating, camping, hunting, hiking, fishing. Think about all the gear, equipment, and vehicles that we have that make those times outdoors so memorable. When it comes to protecting and insuring your firearm, your boat, RV, camper, four-wheeler, even your golf cart, think of me, Barry Broom, your Allstate agent. Call me at 229-244-9856 or visit me online at barrybroom.com. Go make a memory. Enjoy your great outdoors.
So you need a car, truck, or SUV? Look no further than Midway Auto Emporium at 4189 Bemis Road, Valdosta, Georgia. Cameron and Melissa Tucker has been serving the Valdosta area for over 7 years now. They are a family-owned and operated local business with hometown values and still believe in handshake deals. With a great selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs, with a Carfax report on every one of them, along with bank financing at all credit levels and interest rates as low as 1.85% with approved credit. 4189 Bemis Road, or visit their website at midwayautoemporium.com.
It's the Good Outdoors on 99.5 Kicks Country. Now, let's get back to the fun, talking about everything to do with the outdoors with Steve, Darrell, and Ronnie.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Good Outdoors Radio Show. We're entering our wrap-up segment brought to you by Southwind Sporting Clays and Quail at Highway 84. Man, just an awesome facility out there. Great quail hunting during quail season. Awesome. Just go out there to place to shoot. Got a 5-stand, Sporting Clays course. Lots of charity work. John and them do lots of charity work.
Mm-hmm.
And great things for the community, fundraisers for different organizations, birthday parties. Can't say enough about them. They're a great supporter of the Good Outdoors, and we love them to death, and I'm just ready. Hey, we got another commercial that will be coming up making pretty soon, too.
We do. Sent the script home for the boys to memorize. Hopefully they're getting ready to come in here and do that.
They had a big weekend because I know John and them went up to, and I don't even know if they're back yet. I feel like they probably are today. But they went up to Unicoi State Park up there around Helen, Georgia, I believe is where they went, and went kayaking, fishing, having some fun. So
that does sound like fun.
Look forward to some pictures from them. Sure do.
I'm about ready to get out there in the Good Outdoors and have some fun myself.
Mm-hmm. What you gonna do? Anything in mind?
I don't know, dude. I just got whichever way the wind blows me, I guess. I don't know. We've been, every evening been taking the kids on the little nature trail there at the house and going down to the playground. That's always a hoot. But man, is it hot! You got to wait so late to get out there and do that. Man, it's just I don't know. As I get older, I can't take the heat like I used to. It used to didn't bother me, but
the playground y'all have there, is it shaded any at all?
No,
it's not.
Mm-mm.
See, one we have down in Lake Park, it's shaded pretty good. We can go down there a little bit earlier in the afternoons, hop on the golf cart and go down there and have a good time, and it's not quite so bad. So,
of course, the nature trail's shaded, and you walk around the pond. But there's just it's not real long, real big. It's but so much to do. You get down there and you skip a few rocks and throw rocks in the water. It's time to move on. So anyway, it's a lot of fun doing stuff like that. And of course, I got a lot of yard work I need to do. Maybe I can get some of that done this weekend and spend some time with the Good Outdoors there.
Maybe you can. Maybe you can.
Just remember, if it gets too hot, just get your water hose out or get into a pool.
We saw this on Memorial Day. We riding around there, and I bet I saw 4 or 5 slip and slides. These kids in the yards were just
they out there
running and
I've seen them everywhere.
Sliding on that. It made me think back a good buddy of mine, Paul Cobb, when we were in school. I spent a night with him a couple of weekends there, and his dad did a lot of painting, and he had this big, huge plastic thing. We rolled it out there in the yard, and of course, when you 10, 11, 12 years old, it seems like it was a mile long. I don't know how long it was, but we'd wet that thing down and we'd get with it, son. You could not.
What a good time!
Outslide it, like the slipping slides. I bought one for the kids last summer, and I thought I'd run and dive on it. Man, I slid off the end and burnt myself up in the grass. It wasn't long enough for my big butt.
Man, what a good time that is too.
Oh yeah,
get out there in the yard. There's so many things you can do, and I tell the kids all the time they want to. Can we set up a sprinkler or do something in the yard? No, ain't gonna set up a sprinkler. I got an irrigation system. Get out there.
Yeah,
I go start that zone so they can have some fun.
Shoot, a water sprinkler, they just run through it for hours, man, just getting wet.
The fun we used to have doing that. We had the old kind that would just go back and forth with just kind of a quarter moon shaped, and we just jumped through that thing all the time.
Yeah, and then you had the little sprinklers in it. It goes chick, 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 chick.
Man, we had some fun with them.
Yes, sir.
Man, it's just great to be outdoors. There's a great water sports right here in Lowndes County, right there on exit 13, Wave Park.
Yeah, the sprinkler, that's one of my best dance moves.
The sprinkler?
Oh, yeah, man.
Oh, man, I don't think
the shopping cart, the sprinkler, man, I can do them all, brother. That's some fun.
I don't think I want to see the shopping cart or the sprinkler, so we're going to. I don't know. We might make a YouTube video of that. We might need to get that on video.
We were going to do a Harlem Shake video. I don't know why we never did. I guess it just kind of fell by the wayside.
And that was one of the ones that was the hot minute for a moment.
Yeah, it was. It's kind of past now.
The hot moment for a minute.
Yeah, that too.
But you sent a text out. Hey, y'all get prepared. We're going to do a Harlem Shake, and I didn't even respond.
Yeah.
Really? I said, nah. I don't.
It was all the rage there for a while, but I think everybody's kind of past the Harlem Shake.
It was one of the ones, if you didn't make a video like within that week,
yeah, we can't.
There were some good ones out there.
Yeah, we can't move that fast here at the Good Outdoors unless it's a charity thing. Then we own it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it takes a little while, man.
I don't know if y'all want to see us do the Harlem Shake. Y'all can Facebook us and tell us. We get an overwhelming response. We'll make it happen. But
we'll do it.
Short of that, I don't think it's going to happen.
No, sir.
We'll just have to call it something else. Call it the Outdoor Shake.
The Outdoor Shake.
Come up with our own.
Yeah, we can do that.
Start a new trend. Yeah. The Outdoor Boogie.
I think we ought to try that.
The Outdoor Boogie Woogie.
I had a friend of mine actually, if you can believe I've got a friend, actually was striper fishing, I think, yesterday. And he said he had the best day ever that he's ever had on the water. And he landed North Georgia at Lake Altoona.
Mm-hmm.
He said, the best day of fishing I've had in 20 years. I was on Lake Altoona in North Georgia, and I put 32 fish in the boat over 5 pounds, and I missed a couple of big boys. And he put some pictures on there, not all 32, of course, that was over the limit, but he put a really nice picture up here of 5 good striped bass. That he was out there enjoying it, man. He had a good time. Lake Altoona, I mean, there's striper fishing going on, so just get outdoors and enjoy it. All over the state, you can do it. All over the state. But excuse me. Winding down another show this morning.
Another good outdoor activity is using a drone to blow up Al Qaeda militants. We used one yesterday to take out a Taliban leader, and that's always a good thing.
Oh yeah, always a good thing.
Yeah.
But he had a $5 million bounty on his head. Wasn't it $5 million?
I don't know. I wish I'd have took him out if that was the case. If I'd have known it, maybe I'd have been over hunting him. Floyd Mayweather, a boxer, has announced his next fight. He's 36 years old and he's never been beaten, and he's fighting that Canelo Alvarez. So it's going to be a pretty good tussle there if you're a boxing fan. So Floyd, pretty boy Mayweather, pound for pound. He keeps saying he's the best fighter, and I mean, ain't nobody ever beat him. So I guess till somebody beats him, he can talk all that smack.
Yep, because I sure ain't gonna get up there and try him.
I don't think I need to be up there boxing. I'm a little bit too old for that.
I guarantee you, I'm too old for it.
I probably wouldn't have done it when I was too young to do it, neither, or when I was the right age to do it. I still probably wouldn't do it. My guy coming up, our guy, I was the same age as Mike Tyson, and I'm guaranteeing in the prime of my career, I wouldn't have got in the ring with him.
Man, he was strong. He was strong.
Oh yeah, had sharp teeth too.
Yeah,
Ask Evander Holyfield.
I actually heard yesterday, and we were talking about boxing here for a second. I never knew this about Sylvester Stallone. He actually wrote the script to Rocky.
Yeah.
And he pitched it to him, and they said, no, man, we it's not a good thing, but we'll buy it from you, and offered to buy it. He said, no. So he said, I'm going to star and I'm going to do it, So anyway, they gave him a low budget. And you think about it, the first Rocky movie was a low budget movie, and it made millions of dollars and spawned all the Rocky things. But Sylvester Stallone, you look at him, you watch him play Rocky, you think he's dumb as a box of rocks.
Yep.
And look what's happened. He has made some money from it, buddy.
He has. But remember that movie, The Blair Witch Project?
I sure do.
Cost $14,000 to make.
And made millions.
Millions of dollars. That's a high profit margin there.
God, I couldn't never even watch that movie. I couldn't stand it.
I watched about the first 5 minutes and decided I'd get sick if I kept watching that.
I know why I couldn't. There's no way. It could have cost more than $14,000 to make.
I don't say it cost $14,000. I got plenty of footage like that. It didn't cost near that much. You can do that off a smartphone now.
Yes, you can. And that's about how it looked. It really is about exactly how it looked.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to give y'all a full report about C4 tomorrow. Darrell's going to be heading over there here in a little bit to scout that situation out and get some more info on it, see if we can learn more about his life. And
sure
hopefully we'll have some info on that for you.
I hope so. I'm going to work hard on it this morning and go see him and see if we can learn more about him. Because it sounded like he was just a great man that was went under the radar.
Yep.
Sure did. But I've had a good time this morning. We'll be back tomorrow for Feel Good Friday.
Same bat time, same bat channel. Y'all hang in there. We broadcast live every morning, Monday through Friday from 4 to 6 a.m. right here on 99.5. We're getting ready to clear out of here and let the big, mighty Jim Morgan in the morning come in. So y'all stay tuned. He'll get the day kicked off.
Professional radio host.
Oh, yeah. No more of this Mickey Mouse stuff. We got a pro coming in now. Y'all have a good day in the Good Outdoors.
Talk to you tomorrow.
And rise up.
You've been listening to The Good Outdoors on 99.5 Kicks Country with Steve, Darrell, and Ronnie. Join us every weekday at 4:30 when we'll do it again.